Hi, I'm Tony. Happy New Year and welcome to Southern Sustenance. So it's summer now in Adelaide, early Jan 2025. I'm just going to go through some of the successes, failures, and near misses that I've noticed. Let's go. The first is this Sultana behind me. So this is definitely a success. Lots of fruit this year. Whilst we had some fruit last year, this is definitely a lot more plentiful. So you can see some very big sultanas, but also as with a lot of other fruit, the lorikeets have gotten to them and just destroyed, made a mess of it, and it just grows too quick to actually be able to put a net on it, because in a couple of months you have a couple meters of growth, and trying to take a net off is not a fun job. We've got the Irish strawberry. Even though it's given a couple fruit, this coming year it'll give a lot more. As you can see how big it is. Got some grafted plums behind here. So quite a bit of fruit, again destroyed by the cockies, but that was a grafted Wixon. So if we just go to some fruit here, they're pretty big plums. The ice cream bean, a couple meters tall. With some of the plants I've noticed they've sort of dried out a bit. I've just been watering it the past couple of weeks, bringing them back to life, making these donut rings around them and just irrigating heavily to bring it back. That's the black mulberry there. The mulberries, I've got three. They're pretty much leafless, so just adding some water over a couple of weeks, the leaves have come back. They're quite happy now. Prickly pears, lots of fruit coming. Same as a quince here. This blood orange wasn't too happy again. Did the donut ring, added a lot of water every couple of days. Had some hot days, high 30s, and a lot of new leaves. Plums, apricot, stone fruits went quite well this year. As you can see, some peaches that are on the way to ripening and nectarines have finished. But yeah, cockies just got to most of it and destroyed it all. Another apricot, another wild apricot that I've planted from seed. Loquats. So I mentioned another video that had about 3-4 years on them. So this year, had it been watered more, would have actually given fruit, because this is all dried up and just pretty much seeds there. But yeah, that's 2.5 meters tall now, so quite established and survived with no watering. Fig here. So I've lost a couple figs just through yard maintenance. They'll sort of cut down. So this is one of the close calls, a mango. So with watering, a couple leaves have come back, but really it's sort of suffered. It's been forgotten about, not been watered. This one was a close call too. So this is a guava, and pretty much when I came here, I had a few leaves on it, not much, and it was all just scrappy looking. And all these new leaves have come out just with the additional watering I've given it and the mounting of dirt to close it in. The grapes, they love the hot dry summers, and yeah, they just need a good summer prune. Here's another apricot. So just a tip, something that I've noticed is when fruit trees have big leaves, they're going to give big fruit. So I showed an apricot before, I had small leaves, and you can sort of expect that the fruit will be small and sort of wild, but these are big, so this should give good fruit. That's just a rule of thumb, something I've noticed with the olives, which I'll show you in a bit. Yeah. Yuzu, again, another one that was quite scrappy looking, but now it's just giving heaps of flowers. It's just happy with the extra water. I don't think avocados really like the Northern Adelaide Plains, to be honest. This is sort of suffering, giving it water and that, but yeah, hopefully as it gets a bit older, it'll get a bit stronger and it'll just grow taller. And that's a failure. One of the avos didn't make it. Bananas aren't too happy either. A bit dry, and I've dug some out. The white Sapote is quite happy. It's easy, sort of hit that 2 meter mark now. And some more grapes behind there. Just the white fruited pomegranate next to the ice cream bean here. So first year it's giving quite a few flowers, not just one, but a few. Probably get fruit off it, but that's grafted. So ideally, I want to get that growing on its own roots, because if the suckers get very strong, it'll deplete nutrition. Eventually, it could just take over, and you sort of lose that variety. We'll just move to the other part of the garden. So this is trifoliata rootstock. So people normally don't grow these, but I was curious, let it grow and see what sort of fruit it gives. You never know what. So it just hasn't been watered. I've been watering it a little bit, but you know, it is a rootstock. I don't really care. Just want to see what it's going to give more than anything. The limes have gone very well. You can see them just here. Bit of pruning. I've noticed a bit of gall wasp on this, so I've just been hacking away any bits that seem to have been infected with it. But that's the only citrus that's been affected, so I dare say it's come from the neighbours or something. The feijoa wasn't too happy looking, and it's still lots of leaves, but yeah, what wasn't too happy, so just been keeping the water to it, trying to bring it back. Just a chestnut there. The blackberries have gone really well with the water. So I've pretty much had blackberries, peaches, nectarines, a couple of limes, and lots of grapes. So a few things have fruited. Got the fig here, a few years old now. And yeah, it's like the second season of figs. That's an almond tree. It's been grafted onto this white peach. So the cockies, they got to it too. But there are a few almonds left. Some other avos. That's a reed, and that's a fuerte type. So this avocado has gone quite well. So whether it's the soil or just it's sort of a bit more sheltered here, it's very healthy looking. Dragon fruits again, another one that's sort of been, it's there. It's not doing too well. It's not doing too bad, but it's just there. Yet to give fruit. That's just a pomegranate. Some white grapes here. So they're still maturing, getting bigger. And that wild citrus seeds from a eureka lemon. So we'll see what that gives. So that hasn't produced any flowers yet. That's a few years old. So we'll see what that gives. So something that I was saying before is the leaves. The leaves on this olive, they're quite big. So compared to sort of like a normal olive tree that I've got in the corner down the back there. So pretty much the theory is the way it's spaced out in the leaves will determine sort of the size of the fruit. And it's only a few years old, but it's starting to give fruit. And this was grown from Kalamata olive seeds. And normally people say, you know, seeds won't give you the same as your mother plant. But in this case, it does, because whilst they're still green, these are pretty big. They're bigger than the big tree there. So we've got a winner. Pomegranate. First year that it has some fruit and they've stayed on. So this is just a flowering vine, but it's just that I want to show you. And this has managed to survive all the heat. This is a grenadier type passion fruit. It's only 1.5 meters or so, but yeah, it survived, which I'm very happy about because it's a delicious variety of passion fruit. Doesn't look too happy, but it survived, so must be liking something. And around the other side here, you have the sugar cane and some bananas and a banana passion fruit. So it's sort of there, it's survived. It's not thriving, but it's still around. So I'll just flip around. The maintenance this time around has pretty much been removing suckers off plants and any spots that I've seen kikuyu coming up. So I've noticed like 3-4 areas in the backyard that have had kikuyu just spring out, whether it was just some remnant root or just from seed. So that's a note that I've made to myself, is not to use lawn clippings around plants in the backyard, because I'm trying to just have mulch in the backyard, and whether it's mulch that I've brought in or just I've slashed it back and that becomes the sort of green manure, I don't want kikuyu because it's very invasive, and I sort of want to just keep everything in the backyard short and snake free. But I'll take you to the front yard and I'll show you how the rest of the yard's gone. So just showing you some K-apple. They've gone really well with just the neglect, I suppose, and the hot heat. Big spines on them. Haven't seen any fruit yet. They're only a few years old, but yeah, they've really liked being forgotten about. One of the few things actually that have grown throughout this time. This is the verge. So only sort of really lost a couple things. So I put a couple more tube stock in, moved them around. Got gifted a callistemon, so that's in. Yeah, it's getting there. Eventually the plan is to have this cut the wind, so it's a bit of a windbreak. And then I've got another windbreak here, which is just rosemary and lavender. Just from the other side here. And, the lawn's still alive, but eventually I want to replace this kikuyu with this nice stuff. This is Tiff Tough. So I've just been at it with sea salt, sea mungus, and a bit of very high strength phosphorus based fertilizer, trying to bring it back. It's very green now, but I'll put some photos up of how it was, and it wasn't too happy. So it's a very soft grass and fine leafed. And it's very hard wearing, which is why I like it. And the fact that just with some watering it's come back, it's at least as strong as kikuyu. Just looks a lot better and is a lot easier to maintain. First year that this prickly pear is giving fruit. It's not a sunny spot here, and I think that's what's delayed it. So it'd be interesting to see what the flesh of this prickly pear is, because the one out the back is sort of like a purple. Bay leaf's gone well, and I've just planted this yellow dragon fruit, some Aussie gold. Didn't show you in another vid, but yeah, just put a new concrete path in, and had suckers come out from some old rose trees and kikuyu coming through the lawn, so just been ripping that out. The last sort of fruiting plant I have here is this Jujube. So this was forgotten about, but I suppose with the heat, and don't know what it was, but there's pretty much a stick there, not even 30 centimeters high. Didn't think it was going to live, and here we are. It's probably It's over a meter, easy, maybe 1.2, and there's three jujubes there. So that's one, there's a small one there and a real baby one. It survived. That's another success story. Oh, weird one for you. Your yellow jackets. So, yeah, they've made a nest in the ground underneath aloe vera. How random. For those of you that are wondering how the pond was going, I've just put some mesh on it. It's going quite well. I've had to clean out the duckweed, so maybe putting a bit of a fountain in here should prevent its growth. But yeah, fish are still alive, just living off the vegetation and the water snails that live here. We'll see if we can see one, because I've seen a couple big ones and small ones, so definitely still around. Frog bit's gone well. Lily pads, everything. But yeah, just cleaning that, see if we can attract them. Cleaning the duckweed's a bit of a problem and needs a lot of maintenance. There's a big one there. There you go. That sums it up. Pretty much all up, I've lost a couple of figs, an avocado, a mango, and a giant ice cream bean I had in a corner. And that was mostly due to neglect. But you know what, the things I did survive, they survived well, and I managed to save a couple other things in the process. So yeah, definitely keep on it in summer. Control that kaiku, get rid of suckers, do what you need to do to keep your plants healthy. And yeah, keep going, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.